Today on a very special episode of Chuckload of Comics, we're going inside Chicago's Museum of Science and Industry for a behind-the-scenes look at their new exhibit, Marvel Universe of Superheroes. Let's go take a look. All right, guys, we're inside the Grand Rotunda here at the Chicago Museum of Science and Industry. If you are ever in Chicago, it is an absolute must-stop on your visit. Over 400,000 square feet of exhibit space. It's one of the largest science museums on the entire planet. They've got a World War II submarine just beneath my feet that you can go take a tour, completely enclosed indoors. It's really cool. They got a coal mine you can take an elevator down to and cruise around underneath the museum. They got one of the world's largest indoor model train sets. But the thing we're here to see today is the new Marvel exhibit. So without further ado, let's go check that out. All right, we're here with Warren Stokes, MSI spokesperson. Warren, thanks so much for taking your time to show us around this amazing exhibit. I got to tell you, fandom community is abuzz about the new Marvel exhibit here at MSI. What can you tell fans just right off the top? We haven't even walked in yet of kind of what they can see here at the museum.
So with this Marvel exhibition, so Marvel Universe of Superheroes spans 80 years worth of over 300 artifacts that kind of just show the history of Marvel and how both it's affected pop culture and how pop culture has affected the Marvel work itself. Any fan can come in, like a casual fan who just enjoys some of the movies, as well as those fans who have read the comics, watch all the movies. They can all both get the same type of level of enjoyment. Yeah,
well, just poking my head through the doors, I can already like I'm getting goosebumps wanting to go in here. It's just so big. I mean, how long did it take to put this whole thing together here at MSI, especially during COVID lockdown, that sort of thing?
So this exhibit has been around since 2018. We were, lucky enough for Marvel and SEC to work with us to bring it here to Chicago. So each time they bring this exhibit to light at a different museum, they update it. So this exhibit here, like there's stuff that you would not have seen when it was displayed at other museums as well.
That's cool. So tickets are selling like hotcakes. I saw that online. How can fans get a ticket to experience the Marvel exhibit?
So any person who wants to buy a ticket, they can just visit www.msichicago.org/assemble, and they can purchase tickets to either daytime hours or evening hours, which we're now offering. You can see the available dates and times that you can buy tickets, but as you mentioned, those tickets are selling fast, and we're also operating at 25% capacity. So tickets are selling out really fast. So just make sure to plan your visit ahead.
How long is it here for?
The Marvel Universe exhibition is here through October.
Okay, awesome. Well, a question that's on everybody's mind is, of course, COVID protocols and stuff like that here at the Museum of Science and Industry. What can you tell us about sort of some of the initiatives you guys are putting together for keeping people safe?
Yeah, so we really want our guests to feel safe, so as well as our staff. So we are operating at 25% capacity, as both throughout the museum and inside of our exhibits. We're maintaining 6 feet apart in our exhibits as well as providing guests with we're providing guests with stylists. So if they want to interact with anything that is on, they can, but just without their hands, and they can use a stylus instead.
Clever. Hands-on museum, and just hand people a stylus and let them touch up. Well, I'm dying to get inside and take a look at this thing. So what do you say? Let's hop in, see what's behind the closed doors.
Yeah.
Well, this exhibit is chock full of movie props, movie memorabilia, screen-used costumes. What are some of your favorites on display here at the exhibit?
Yeah, so one of my immediate favorites is right here, actually, is the Black Panther props from the actual Black Panther film. So not only when you watch those movies, you can really appreciate the costume work that's done, but when you see it up close, it's just a different experience. Like, for example, you can see the Wakandan alphabet on Black Panther's costume, and that's just something you can't see in the movie, really, when you can see here.
You're absolutely right, Warren. Yeah. That is so cool. So I got to say, your mannequin does not quite fill out the costume as well as the late, great Chadwick Boseman. Were these screen-used props here in the thing?
Yeah,
you got Shuri's cat bomb hands and...
Yeah, all the props inside this exhibit were used in the movies. So yeah, everything you're seeing in here, one of the actors wore, whether it was stunt doubles or the actors themselves.
That is so cool. These are absolutely gorgeous. What are some of the other ones that are on display that you kind of you think fans absolutely must check out?
Yeah, for a lot of fans, I know a lot of folks love Captain America and Chris Evans' work as that, but you can see both shields. He had one shield from the original movie and one shield from Winter Soldier. We have both of those on display. We also have props from the Spider-Man movie, so you can see Tom Holland's Spider-Man prop, as well as props from the original Spider-Man movies with the Green Goblin and his Goblin bombs.
That's so cool, so cool. Well, I know you got more stuff than just movie props here, so why don't we go ahead and take a look at some of the stuff for the real comic book collectors, the real comic book nerds. So I love that you have something here for everybody. It's not just fans of the movies, it's fans of the comics, fans of the art, fans of Marvel's history. What are some of the rarities that you have here on display that people might not be able to see at, say, a Comic-Con?
Yeah. So when you first walk into the Marvel exhibition, you'll see one of the first prints of the first Marvel comic. And you can take a look at that. We have it displayed just so everybody can really take time to really take a look at it. Then, of course, we have different comics and reprints, original artwork from Marvel Comics, some from the desk of Jack Kirby or Stan Lee. For example, we have...
Let's take a look.
Yes.
Right here. Amazing Fantasy 15, first appearance of Spider-Man. This is about a $40,000 comic book right next to us. What a gem in your collection here.
Yeah, it's amazing. Like, the curators for this exhibit did a lot of detective work just to find some of these comics to really fill out the story that they were trying to tell with this exhibition. For example, this piece is actually from one of the curators for this exhibition, Ben Saunders. And it's Amazing Spider-Man or Amazing Fantasy issue 15. So yeah, it's really cool just to see all these reprints and not only reprints but original artwork.
Yeah.
And you can really take a close look at it and see how it's changed over time and how it's been influenced.
That's one of the things I like is because if you're a comic book, a casual fan, you may not realize back in the day, even still today, they draw them on large 11x17s and then they shrink them down for print. So you've got the walls are littered with the original sketches, with the original taped on word balloons. It's spectacular, and you see it as soon as you walk in the door. No pun intended. It's amazing. It's spectacular. It's fantastic. So we can't leave here without checking out some of your interactives. I know you got some cool stuff people can use with the styluses. So why don't we take another little walk down the hall and see what kind of interactive stuff you guys got?
Yep.
All right, Warren, this is just one of your many, many interactive exhibits you have here at the Marvel exhibit. Walk us through it. What are we looking at here?
Yeah, so what we're looking at here is one...
Oh, by the way, I've got my stylus that was handed to me as I walked in, so nobody has to touch anything. Totally COVID safe.
Yeah. So what you're looking at here is one of our interactives that kind of just goes through not only the Marvel method, but also just how much work goes into making an actual comic book. So you can start with, if you tap right there,
here I go.
To the artist at work, and it'll just display a video there, and you can really see how much detail and time is spent making these comic books.
That is awesome. Let's see what book this is. I can't tell.
It looks like Spider-Man.
I mean, clearly. Specifics, Warren.
Yeah,
Specifics.
You're right.
Issues. That's awesome. So then it just kind of walks you through how comics are made today.
Yeah, and it kind of goes through the whole process from the inking to the printing and everything.
This is amazing. Warren, I could spend days. I could spend an entire weekend. We've barely scratched the surface of this amazing exhibit, so I kind of want to spend the rest of the day checking it out. So Warren, thanks so much for taking your time and walking us through this thing. And just a reminder to everybody, go to MSI.
Go to msichicago.org/assemble, and there you can purchase tickets for daytime and evening hour tickets for Marvel. For evening hours, though, it's only the Marvel exhibition is open.
Okay, and guys, this is running through October. Can't say it enough. Come check it out here at the Museum of Science and Industry here in Chicago. So, Warren, thanks a lot for walking us through, man. Appreciate it.
Thank you for being here.